Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So you may notice that I am barefaced today, and that is because I just washed my face, and I'm going to share with you guys my winter skincare routine, starting with the morning and then moving on to the night. So I have already cleansed my face, and for that I used my Claire's charcoal soap, and this is the Gentle Black Sugar Charcoal Soap, and it is natural and handmade. I've been using this for over a year now and I love it. I swear by it. I've gone through maybe 3 of these bars so far, and I am continuing to use them just because this has been the only cleanser that has worked for me consistently throughout the year. So I can use this summer, winter, fall, all time of the year, and it does not break me out, it does not overly dry my skin, and it is just perfect for me. After I do that, I like to move on to toner, and for my toner I do use the Claire's Supple Preparation Facial Toner. This is just a great toner for anyone that has normal to combination sensitive skin, and it just works really great for me because it's not too much of an astringent, and it's also hydrating at the same time, so it's not damaging to my skin or too drying like other toners that are just really high in alcohol and things that can actually be harmful for the skin. But I usually just put it into the palm of my hands, massage, and then just pat it in. Now, I do have really sensitive skin, so you may be wondering why my face turns red, and it's going to do that every time I touch it because my skin is really sensitive. So I just apply that all over my face, focusing it mainly on my cheeks where is my problem areas, and then I just let that do its thing. Then I move on to a hydrating liquid, and here I have this one, and right off the bat I could not read you this name since it is a Japanese product and it is all in kanji, so I can't actually read it, but I will put the name in English around here or the translation, and I'll also have links in the description box below on where you can get all these products. But here I am currently using this. It is basically a hydrating liquid, and it contains a lot of hydrating ingredients such as hyaluronic acid, and this is one that I like to apply on after my toner because it's very light, and it kind of also prepares the skin for other products that are coming after that. So I just put that on my hands. And I apply that all over my face once again. And I like to drag this onto my neck as well. Now, I really love hydrating liquid products because they really just make your skin feel very soft after you've cleansed it, and it makes everything else you apply a lot more evenly to the skin and absorb a lot more evenly. Using ingredients and products such as hyaluronic acid is really good for the skin. It helps prevent fine lines, dehydration lines. It also can shrink pores because many of us that are still young or who don't have oily skin types but have large pores, it's actually because our skin is very dehydrated, so the pores are being stretched. So I like to apply that. And then after that I move on to my vitamin serum, and previously in my last skincare routine I was using the OST C21.5 serum. I am not using that anymore because if you can tell by my skin, the overall quality is pretty good right now, so I didn't feel the need for such a heavy vitamin C serum since my scarring had gone down significantly from using that product. Now you can still use that if you feel like you need a really intense high percentage of vitamin C, but for me, I recently have been loving the Claire's Freshly Juiced Vitamin Drop. Now this is still a vitamin C serum, however it only has 5% vitamin C rather than 21.5%, so it is quite toned down, making it really suitable for people that have extremely sensitive skin. Now not only does this have vitamin C, but it also has a lot of other antioxidant ingredients and plant extracts that are very good for the skin. So overall I would say this is probably more of an high antioxidant serum, which is really good for anyone who wants to get into anti-aging or who just wants to overall have a more even skin tone. So if you have really bad acne scars, you might want something stronger, but if you get the occasional acne scar, this will be plenty for you. I just squeeze out about half of it, or maybe a quarter depending on how much I feel like, into my hands. Then I just rub that between my hands and then pat it into the skin. And of course, once again, you want to focus this product on areas of concerns where you get most discoloration. And for me, of course, that is my cheeks, which is my problem area. I also like to bring this product under my eyes. Since it is an antioxidant product, it does have those abilities to fight away free radicals and aging and stuff like that. And then I just go ahead and rub it into my forehead. And if I have excess, I just pat it onto my neck. Now, I usually wait a few seconds for that to soak into my skin. I don't like to layer them on while they're too fresh, just because I don't want to smear and dilute it. So I just let that absorb a little bit. Okay, so once that absorbed, I like to apply a hydrating serum, and this is the Klairs Rich Moist Soothing Serum. Now this serum is definitely a hydrating serum, so if you just want something that is a concentration of ingredients that are good for moisturizing and hydrating the skin, then I highly recommend this serum. Now it doesn't have any benefits for the skin like brightening or anti-wrinkle, but because it's such a deep hydrator, it is going to help get rid of fine lines. It's overall just going to make your skin a lot healthier. This serum is also really great for the summertime as just your overall moisturizer if you tend to have more oily skin, but for me, I like to use it as a second serum in my daytime routine. I usually just take about 2 to 3 pumps of that into the palm of my hand, and then once again, the patting routine. And I like to do my under eyes as well because I tend to have very dry under eyes. Then focusing the nose and then the forehead. And then I just massage it all around my face to get an even application. And then once again, whatever is left over, I apply to the neck. Okay, so because I applied a lot of hydrating serum, my skin is quite tacky at the moment, so once again I like to just sit and wait a bit while that absorbs an okay amount before I move on. Okay, so now that that has absorbed a little bit, I like to move on to eye products. So here I have the Olay Age Defying Eye Gel. Now, this is probably the only eye product I have ever used that has not stung for me, and a lot of products I put on my eyes have stung because, like I said, I have very dry under eyes and they are very sensitive. Now I literally just dip my finger into that and get a decent amount, and I just tap it once there and once to that side, then back again into that spot, and then the outer corner, and then going back and tapping onto that corner. Then I go in from the center and just lightly drag the product evenly over my under eye area, and I also like to apply it to the outer areas where I will develop crow's feet eventually. And then I also like to pull it up onto my inner nose bridge, because if anyone ever smiles or goes like that, you get like fine lines there. So just like that. Then whatever is left over, I apply in between my eyebrows. And then I pick up anything else and I apply a little bit to my eyelids. So this is where it gets different depending on the quality of my skin and the day. If my skin is feeling a little dry lately or dry in areas, then I like to go in with my Klairs Rich Moist Soothing Cream and apply that just a little bit to target areas or my entire face. Now when I do this, I like to only apply a very small amount. So just taking a really small amount on my finger, I'll apply it to my dry areas. So I like to focus on the forehead and then in the corners of the nose, and then under eyes, and then massaging it into the forehead because I tend to have a dry forehead, pulling it down to the area of the outer portion of my eyes, inner brows, and then the nose, and pulling it down to where I would have laugh lines. And then surprisingly enough, my nose tends to peel a lot easily, so I apply it there as well. Okay, so like I said, that's something I would only do on days that my skin feels really, really dry. Otherwise, I would just go in with my sun cream, because this alone acts as a really great day cream product if your skin is not very dry, if you have normal to combination skin, and even if you have sensitive skin. You can even get away with just using this if you have oily skin. So this is the Cosrx Aloe Soothing Sun Cream in SPF 50 PA++, I think it was. +++. So this has great sun protection. It hasn't ever broken me out. This is my second tube of it, and like I said, I like to use this in replacement of a day cream if my skin is doing okay. So I just take a size at around that amount and apply it to my fingertips, and then I apply it starting at the highest portion of my face where the sun would hit, and then the rest goes on my cheeks where I have acne scarring. And then I just massage that into my skin, and then whatever is left over on my hands I actually apply to my eyes. And then I wipe it over my eyebrows as well. And then just pat it in. Now this is a really great product. I swear by it as a perfect day cream for anyone, and you really should start using SPF because 90% and up of aging is by the sun. So if you want to avoid wrinkles or discoloration or age spots, then start using an SPF during the day. It might be hard to find the perfect SPF for your skin, as many people can be sensitive to them and get acne breakouts, but for me this is an SPF that has not once caused me any type of irritation or breakouts, and I literally can use it every single day. Okay, so that literally is it for my daytime skincare routine. That is generally everything that I would apply as of the fall season and for the upcoming winter season for my skin during the daytime. All the products I mentioned for the daytime routine will be listed in the description box below, so do check that out. Now, if you guys want to see my winter and fall nighttime skincare routine, then stay tuned because that is going to be starting any minute now. Okay guys, so it's time for my nighttime skincare routine. As you can see, I have a full face of makeup on, so I'm ready to do my in-depth nighttime skincare routine where I do all the heavy duty makeup removal and the two-step cleansing and everything else that comes after it. So first, of course, I like to start with makeup removal, and this generally includes oil cleanser. Ever since I started using oil cleansers, I really love them, and there's no way I can go back to not using oil cleansers. For that, I like to use the Klairs Gentle Black Deep Cleansing Oil. Now, this cleansing oil is really rich on the skin, so it's more targeted towards people with very dry skin. And one thing that is interesting about it is that because it's such a rich oil, it doesn't always wash off perfectly, but I like to use it mixed with the Klairs Gentle Black Sugar Scrub, and these two in combination make like the ultimate makeup remover and exfoliator, because you add a little bit of the crystals from the sugar scrub with about 2 pumps of the cleansing oil, and you get like the perfect combination for removing makeup, getting rid of blackheads, and getting rid of dead skin, with still being able to rinse off your face completely. So these have been holy grail items of mine for almost 2 years now, and there's no way I can live without them. So I'm just going to go use these right now, and then I'll be back and I'll move on to the rest of my skincare steps. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I just washed my face, but that's only step 1 of washing my face. So first I go in with the cleansing oil and the sugar scrub, and then I actually like to go in with a cleansing brush. And here I have my Benella Co. I think it's called the Clean It Zero Auto Cleansing Brush. I can't remember, but I'll have it linked below. And this cleansing brush is excellent because it is similar to the Clarisonic, only the brushes are a lot finer and gentler on the skin, and I actually featured it in my brush comparison video where I compared 3 different types of automatic cleansing brushes, so you guys can check it out. I'll put it here if you're curious on what cleansing brush might be good for your skin, but this is the one that I'm currently using and loving, and I actually use this in combination with a natural charcoal soap that I featured in my morning skincare routine, which is the one by Klairs. I just take my cleansing brush and I swivel it all over the soap here, and that gets a nice lather, and then I just apply that all over my face, and that is it for my second cleansing. So I'm gonna go do that right now, and then I'll be back once I'm done. Okay, so my face has been second cleansed, and I like to do that because it makes sure that everything is out of my pores, all the makeup is completely gone, and any excess oil from the oil cleanser has been removed from my face. So my skin is probably as clean as it will ever get. And now I like to move on to toning, and for that, as you can imagine, yes, I do use the same toner that I use in my morning routine, the Klairs Supple Preparation Facial Toner. Not only does it tighten the pores and remove any kind of excess dirt or grime, but it also deeply hydrates the skin, which is perfect for preparing the skin for products to come after. So I just like to take a bit of that into the palm of my hand, and like you saw before, once again, same from my morning skincare routine, I like to use a hydrating liquid, and this is I think it's called, I actually looked it up in between these videos, it's called White Formula, and it's actually a Taiwanese brand, not Japanese. And I like to use this, so just taking some of that into the palm of my hand, and then patting it into the skin, focusing on areas that need more hydration, such as my forehead, areas around my nose, my under eyes, and then spreading the rest of it over my skin. So this is where it starts to get crazy, and I change it up every single night. This is where I use acids in my skincare routine, and the acid of choice depends on the day, and usually it will be one acid one day, then the next day it will be a different acid, and then the next day it will be another different acid. Now, a lot of people might think this is odd and totally unnecessary. I swear to God, it has worked wonders for preventing my acne, keeping acne at bay, and also making my acne scars go away a lot faster than they normally would. So usually I will use a BHA, and this is a beta-hydroxy acid, I think it's what it's called. And basically what this does is it gets into the deeper layers of the skin and pulls any junk out from it. So anyone who gets acne that they feel is trapped under the skin, then this will be the choice product for you. I would just squirt this into the palm of my hands, and then once again, same like a toner, I would just pat it into my skin. Now, I'm not going to use this product today because I already previously used it, but basically because it's a very fine liquid, you can do the exact same method as a toner or any other liquid you would use, like the previous ones I applied. Now, for the next day, I would use an AHA, and what this does is it is a alpha hydroxy acid, and this focuses on the surface layers of your skin. So if you're someone who has a lot of whiteheads or small bumps on the surface of the skin, then this would be an amazing product for you. It also works really, really great on post-acne scars because it really helps exfoliate the skin a lot faster. Now, this is also the exact same as my previous liquid, so I would just do the exact same method and just pat it into the skin. So these two products together, you should not use them on the same day, and you should not use them during the daytime. If you are going to use them, make sure you use a sunscreen during the day, and make sure you only use them at night. You cannot use these in combination on the same day, so make sure if you are using them, you do it day apart. So one night it would be this, the next night it would be this, and so on. Now, tonight I'm going to be using a different product since the other two nights I previously used that ones. And here I have been testing out a new product, and this is the Vivant Skincare 8% Mandelic Acid. Now, this is a different type of acid, but it has the same benefits as a BHA or an AHA, just it's a different compound, basically. So I have been using this recently, and I've really been enjoying it. It helps to reduce inflammation in the skin, it helps with acne scars, and it also helps reduce acne while being gentle. It's also really, really good if you want to get rid of any fine lines or wrinkles, or just overall have anti-aging. So this is actually more of a serum type liquid, so what I would do is squirt out maybe about half the dropper or a quarter of the dropper into the palm of my hand, and same method as the liquids, and I would just pat it into the skin, focusing on key areas of concern, so areas where I break out, areas with acne scars, and so on. Now, this is one I haven't yet reviewed, but I have been testing it out for over a month now, and so far I really, really like it. So you guys can probably expect to see a review of this on my blog in the near future. So if you're curious, then make sure you check out my blog down below, because I have reviews on basically every skincare product I love there. If you're wondering, the 3 acids I like to include in my skincare routine are BHA, AHA, and mandelic acid. Okay, so now that I have all the liquidy products applied to my face, I'm going to start moving on to more dense products. So of course I'm going to be taking my Klairs Rich Moist Soothing Serum once again, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing where I pump out about 3 pumps of that onto the palm of my hand, then applying it to my face. Now, because this is my nighttime winter skincare routine, I like to bump it up with a lot more hydrating and moisturizing products. I like to go in with something that is skin repairing. So here I have the Ceramidine liquid by Dr. Jart, and this is a ceramide based liquid for the skin. Now, I chose the liquid one because I don't like using a lot of cream based product on my skin. I like using a lot more liquid based products because it's less likely to break me out, and it still does the job that it's supposed to do. So this is a liquid, like I said, but it's really great for repairing the skin and moisturizing the skin. So if you're someone who has dry, acne prone skin, this would be a great choice for you. So I just take a few drops of that into the palm of my hand, and then the exact same thing, applying it to areas of concern first, and then additional areas. I have been using this for I think 2 or almost 3 months now, and I have been loving it. So this really is good for locking in the moisture, and it also has time-released moisture properties, so it continues to deliver moisture and hydration to the skin throughout the night or throughout the day. Okay, so my skin's already starting to feel really moist and really bouncy and fresh, but I don't stop there, I actually do more. So depending on how I feel, this would be the time in my nighttime skincare routine where I would do a sheet mask. And I have a massive collection. So this would be where I would pick a sheet mask of what I want to do, and depending on how my skin is feeling and what concerns I think I have, I would choose the sheet mask based on that. So if I felt like my skin was a lot more dehydrated, then I would probably use my Klairs Rich Moist Soothing Sheet Mask. If I was feeling like my skin was feeling more dry, I would probably use the MediClinic Platinum Mask for V-line, which is firming. I actually really enjoy a lot of firming sheet masks because they're not too heavy, but they still give you that elasticity you're looking for and that bounce you're looking for. Now, because sheet masks are generally time consuming and I like to leave them on for about 30 minutes, I'm not going to do one tonight, but just so you guys know, this is the step where I would do it. Once I did a face mask, what I would do with the excess, I would just tap it into the skin until it fully absorbed. And then I would also wring out any excess I had in the sheet mask and then apply that to my face and neck and then arms. Since I'm not doing one tonight because my skin doesn't feel like it needs that extra kick, I'm going to move on to the rest of my routine. And for that, I use once again my Olay Age Defining Eye Gel. So same as my morning skincare routine, I would just take a dollop of that onto my finger and I would just do a few drops here and there. Okay, so this is where I like to move on to creams. Since the cream totally depends on what my skin is like, and this year I've noticed my skin isn't as terribly dry as it was last year. Last year it was very, very dry, but so far this year it's been doing pretty good. So I'm just sticking with my Klairs Rich Moist Soothing Cream. This is an ultimate lifesaver for me. It's always done the trick, it's always gotten the job done, and it's never failed me or broken me out. So this is always my holy grail staple moisturizing cream for any situation. But for nighttime, I like to apply a little bit more compared to my daytime routine. So taking a generous amount on my finger, I just go in and start applying that to the key areas. So mainly I like to focus it on my forehead at night because, like I said, I do have a fairly dry forehead. Then the nose, the under eye area, where I would get wrinkles basically, and then spreading it outwards. Now for me, I like to be really picky about the amount of cream that goes on my face because it can either be too rich or too light. So after I apply one layer, I like to see how my skin is doing with it, how quickly it is absorbing it or how not quickly it's absorbing it. If it was absorbing it quite quickly, I would do another small layer on those areas that needed it. So for me, tonight it feels pretty good, so I think I'm okay with just one layer. Now, because it's winter time, I like to make sure that I have my skincare locked in. And for that, I like to use a sleeping pack. Now, these are really trendy in Korea these days. But for me, my sleeping pack isn't technically a sleeping pack, but it is very, very, very similar to other sleeping packs I have used from Korea, such as the Innisfree Aloe Soothing Sheet Sleeping Pack, I think it's called, or Revitalizing Sleeping Pack. But this one is actually the Cosrx Aloe Vera Oil Free Moisture Cream. However, it's not actually a cream, it's just a very thick and dense gel. So I like to use this as a final step in my evening skincare routine to seal in everything that I have on my face and give me that extra layer of hydration to protect my skin while it sleeps and make sure it doesn't get dried out. Now, I love using this as a sleeping pack because it gets the job done and it really makes my skin feel nice in the morning. So I just take a generous amount of that aloe vera gel, and then I like to focus it on my areas where I get acne and acne scarring because it is an aloe vera base, it really provides a soothing and calming effect to the skin, which I think is ideal for the nighttime if you are someone who suffers from acne. So I just lightly wipe this all over my face, kind of creating a mask effect. And this really just locks everything in and makes your skin feel so good. And that is it, you guys. That is everything I have been doing this year for my fall and winter skincare routine. You guys have seen my morning skincare routine and you have seen my nighttime skincare routine. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section down below. If you're looking for all the links to the products and where you can buy them, then make sure you check out the description box down below, because I will have links to everything on where you can get it and all that good stuff. And remember, if you guys are looking for reviews or my opinion on any of these products in detail, then make sure you check out my blog, because that is where all my product and all my skincare reviews go. I actually don't do videos anymore on product reviews just because I feel like it's generally a waste of people's time. So if you want to see reviews on all these skincare products, then check out my blog. I will have most of them there. If I don't have the review you're looking for, it most likely will be coming soon, so stay tuned to that. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe and like this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing an updated skincare routine video! Woo! Okay, so my cleansing brushes that I have, and every cleansing brush that I'm going to be talking about today is a automatic cleansing brush that can be related to the Clairsonic and stuff like that. So if you guys are longtime viewers of my